Hey Fit Fam, let's talk about a bird dog. Bird dog is a great warm-up exercise, not just for the body, but also for the mind. Bringing that mind muscle connection to every movement we do is super important. And I feel like this is a great exercise to ground us in that mind muscle connection. So, not only are we working on lengthening the muscles and firing them up and engaging the core, but connecting the breath with the movement, having multiple parts of the movement coming from the upper and lower body, I just think is a great warm up exercise. Now, I have a pad here. You don't have to use a pad. This actually technically adds a level of instability and makes it a little more challenging because it's not a hard, flat surface. But with that said, a lot of my clients don't like hard, flat surfaces for their knees. So we choose to bring in a pad. You could also fold over the mat if you want, or just go on to knees. In this tabletop position, I keep my fingers spread, my wrists rotate out to take away some of that weight in those wrists. But I always want to make sure my hands are directly underneath my chest and my knees are directly underneath my hips. When we come out here and we let those hands shift forward, we're losing that mind muscle connection with the core and our hips are dropping back. So make sure your hands are underneath your chest and your shoulders are also staying out of your ears. What I always think about is finding an orange in that armpit and wrapping it back. Or you could also think about how your elbows face out in this position. And to get your shoulders out of your ears, you're working on rolling that back, having your elbows face your legs. And then your feet can just relax here. Okay. And what I do typically with my clients is I work one side for a set number of reps or time, and then I switch to the other side. And a lot of that is just so we can work on maintaining that mind muscle connection versus having to find it when we switch sides every time. Because again, to me, that's super important that we warm up not just the body, but the mind with the body and the breath. Okay. And then the last thing I think is really important is your speed. Faster is not always better, especially when it comes to moves that involve the core. If we're going fast and we can't feel which muscles are working, then we're doing ourselves a disservice, okay? So for a bird dog, you're gonna move your opposite arm and your opposite leg. So if I take my right arm out in front of me, I'm working on extending my left leg back. Now, when I do this, I wanna make sure that I'm not moving that planted arm. In this case, it's my left one, and I'm not rocking through the hips. I'm not opening up my left hip to the sky, okay? And I'm definitely not arching through that low back. So again, from a tabletop position, extend out opposite arm, opposite leg, reach in each direction, try to get those to become parallel to the ground. And then you can go ahead, even take your gaze with you as you bring your knee and elbow as close together as you can. Now, I've been doing this for a while, so it is a little bit easier for me to find that. But what you can also think about when you're doing this is notice how when my knee and elbow get close together, my back's actually rounding, okay? We do want that core to stabilize, but when we bring it in, round it, tighten it up. Then we get that core engagement and we're working on keeping that mind muscle connection. Everything's starting to fire, and then take it long again, okay? Now, you might find that each side isn't equal, so we might need to work on the stability in one side a little bit more than the other. And oftentimes, it's going to come down to that hand placement too. If we're not working on keeping that shoulder out of that ear, keeping that tension more onto the chest and into that lat, we're going to feel that weight dump into the shoulder. Feel it more in the lat, in the chest, definitely through the core, and then that opposite glute, that's stabilizing, and the other leg extending out. And then we're bringing that in, okay? That is your bird dog. If you liked this video, please hit the like and subscribe button for more content like this.